For 5 centuries, this single egg sat in the royal display chamber. The greatest hunters of every generation tried to crack it and failed. Some broke their blades. Others lost their minds. A few died trying. The egg remained, waiting. An orphaned blacksmith's apprentice named Sora was given the humiliating task of polishing the relic no one believed would ever change. Alone, he polished the shell humbly. A tune stirred from memory, his late mother's lullaby. The lullaby's last note faded, and the egg answered. A hairline fracture split its surface, light screaming through. Sora stumbled back as the chamber flooded with blinding radiance. From within the shattered shell, a tiny creature stirred. A dragon cub, scales glistening like living jewels.
It sees me, not as a failure, as family.
The impossible egg had hatched for an orphan who held no title, no armor, no one. Just a song, the egg that broke empires, had chosen a blacksmith's son. Sora wrapped the cub in his leather apron, pressing deeper into the forge's shadows. Every sound outside made him flinch.
No one can know. They'd take you away, or worse.
The cub chirped, then sneezed a tiny spark that ignited a pile of straw. Sora smothered it with his glove, heart hammering. Suddenly, the sky outside the forge roiled with unnatural flames. A piercing shriek shook the walls. Through the smoke, a phoenix descended, wings wreathed in living fire, its cry like a war horn. It circled the forge, eyes locked below.
It's coming here.
The phoenix landed in the courtyard with a rush of heat, folding its wings. Its gaze swept the forge, then settled on the cub. Sora stumbled out, shielding the cub. The great bird bowed its head, flames dimming to embers. It was not attacking.
A phoenix, bowing to a newborn cub. This can't be a coincidence.
The egg was never a relic. It was a beacon. And the first of many answers had just arrived. A hawk laced with magic soared into the palace war room. A message clutched in its talons. The phoenix had been seen. King Aldrich rose from his throne, silencing the advisors. An old prophecy, long dismissed, now clawed at his thoughts.
The relic egg hatched, not by a hunter's blade, but by a peasant boy's lullaby.
A hooded scholar stepped forward, unrolling a decaying scroll. The beast king's sigil glowed, a dragon entwined with flames.
The beast king returns, and our kingdom will fall. Not while I breathe. Summon Princess Sakura.
Sakura entered the throne room in full battle armor, her sword at her hip. She knelt before her father without a word.
You summoned me, father. What foe do you need dead?
A boy in the forge holds a dragon cub. A phoenix bowed to it. The prophecy is alive. Find him. End this.
A dragon. And a phoenix. This is no ordinary boy.
Sakura rose and turned away. Her father's command meant nothing if the truth she found demanded a different blade. Sakura rode hard, following the scorched trail the phoenix left in its wake. The forge at the forest's edge was impossible to miss. Through the doorway, she saw the boy, cradling a dragon cub like a treasure, whispering to it,
You are the one who hatched the relic. Surrender the beast, or my blade answers for it.
The cub shrieked, squirming in Sora's arms. A defiant glow pulsed from its tiny scales. It refused to hide.
Please. I never wanted any of this. It just hatched. Look at it. It's terrified of you.
Before Sakura could reply, the earth trembled. Mist thickened and a silver silhouette emerged from the forest. A Kirin, antlers blazing with starlight, stepped into the clearing. It dipped its head, not to the princess, but to the blacksmith's son.
A Kirin bows to him. This is no mere accident. This is prophecy unfolding before my eyes.
Sakura lowered her sword, inch by inch, until it hissed back into its sheath. She had come to execute, and found a mystery she couldn't cut. The hunt had changed form. Sakura would not strike today, but the shadow of the kingdom's order still loomed over them both. Sakura, sheathed her blade and did not leave. Sora, too exhausted to argue, led her into the forge's small living quarters. As the cub played with a scrap of cloth, Sakura's gaze swept the room. A tarnished silver locket on a shelf caught her eye. She cracked it open. Inside, a miniature portrait of a woman with flowing silver hair and scales tracing her cheekbones.
This woman, is she your mother? She bears the marks of the old blood.
My mother, she died when I was small. I only remember her lullaby. Nothing else.
A lullaby that hatched a 5th-century egg. A mother who carried beast traits. Do you truly believe that's coincidence?
Sora had no answer. The orphan's past was a closed book, his mother's origins a blank page.
Is that why it chose me? Because of something I inherited. Something I never knew.
I was sent to kill you. But if you carry the Beast King's blood, then something far older than my father's fear is at work.
The locket's faint glow pulsed in rhythm with the cub's own heartbeat. The mystery of the egg had only deepened. The lake beyond the forge erupted. A leviathan rose, water cascading from its indigo scales, its roar shaking the trees.
Another one. Why do they keep coming? I didn't do anything.
It's bowing, just like the phoenix and the Kirin. They aren't attacking.
From the forest shadows, more creatures emerged. Griffins, wyverns, and spirits of old, all gathering, all kneeling. A translucent form shimmered into existence, an ancient beast spirit, horned and furred, its voice echoing through the glade.
Hatchling of the lost king, the blood remembers. You are the heir the egg has awaited.
No, I am just a blacksmith. I never asked for a throne.
The lullaby was the recall song of the Beast Queen. You carry her blood. Denial changes nothing.
King of beasts. I can barely control a forge. What would they do if I refused?
The title had been spoken. The creatures of myth had chosen their king, and the human world would not ignore it. A lone scout stumbled into the throne room, gasping his report. A leviathan, a Kirin, a spirit crown offered to a peasant boy.
The Beast King prophecy. I dismissed it as legend, but this boy, it's unfolding exactly as written.
Advisors pleaded for caution, but the king saw only the fall of his dynasty. He ordered the war drums to beat.
Send an ultimatum. The boy brings the beasts here in chains, or we burn his forest and everyone in it.
Princess Sakura entered unannounced, her armor still dusty from the road. She had ridden ahead of the news.
Father, I observed him. He's no warlord. He rejected the crown. There is still room to talk.
Talk. The beasts bow to him. You will deliver this ultimatum yourself. Prove your loyalty.
Sakura rode back through the night, the ultimatum heavy in her saddlebag. The dark forest seemed to echo her father's threat. She found Sora in the forge, the cub asleep in his lap. He looked up, reading her face before she spoke.
The king says surrender yourself and the beasts, or he will annihilate everyone here.
Sora's knuckles whitened, but he shook his head. He would not deliver beasts in chains to a frightened king.
I won't surrender, but I won't start a war either. There's another way.
He dipped a quill and wrote his proposal. A remote valley for the beasts, guarded by them, serving the kingdom's frontiers. A sanctuary, not a throne.
A little land, far from people. The beasts could protect the borders. No one has to die.
Sakura carried the letter to the throne room. King Aldrich read it in silence, then laughed, a cold, hollow sound.
He offers service? A peasant ruling beasts as border guards. This is insult, not diplomacy.
The king rose, knocking over the inkwell. Call the banners. The boy who would steal my crown will die with his monsters. By dawn, the kingdom's war machine was in motion. Infantry, cavalry, and siege weapons rolled toward the forest. Back at the forge, the cub chirped uneasily. Sora looked south and saw the smoke of campfires. Peace had been refused. The beasts sensed it too. The phoenix shrieked. The leviathan stirred in the lake. War was coming, and Sora could no longer hide. That night, Sora dreamt of the egg cracking open, not with light, but with a deep, swallowing darkness. He woke gasping, the cub nudging his cheek. Dawn light crept through the forge window, but it brought no comfort.
You can't sleep either. Your face says more than your words ever do.
I keep thinking about why they follow me. The only thing I ever had from her was that lullaby.
The melody surfaced unbidden, a soft hum, ancient and warm. He remembered his mother singing by the hearth long ago. Sora began to hum, low and steady. The cub's eyes widened, then slowly closed. Outside, the restless shrieks of beasts fell silent. The phoenix's flames dimmed to a gentle amber. The leviathan stopped its restless thrashing. Even the griffins folded their wings.
That song. It's not just a memory. It's a command. The beasts obey it like a royal decree.
A lullaby my mother taught me is the key to a 5-century egg. Who was she really?
I think your mother was far more than she seemed. And that song might be the only reason you are still alive.
The king's army broke through the tree line. Arrows blackened the sky. Sora's beasts met them with fire, water, and tooth.
Hold them back. No killing unless we must. Protect the forge, protect each other.
A soldier fell, his sword clattering. Sora's stomach turned. This was not a forge. This was butchery he never wanted. A knight lunged at Sora, blade high. The cub shrieked, its small body flaring with a shield of cyan light. The world froze. No sound, no motion. A shimmering figure stepped from the stillness, a woman with silver hair and gentle scales.
Sora, my son, the lullaby you sing was the recall song of the Beast Queen. I was her. You are the heir our kingdom awaited.
Sora saw a vision. His mother, living secretly among humans, cradling an infant whose eyes already glowed soft cyan.
The egg was sealed by my sacrifice, awaiting the day your blood called it. Only you could break the 500-year seal.
Heir of the Beast Queen. Not by luck, not by accident. I was born for this.
Time snapped back. The knight's blade shattered against the cub's barrier. Sora rose, not as a blacksmith, but as the Beast King who would end this war. The human line shattered. Soldiers who had fought monsters before now faced an army united under a true king's will.
Advance. Surround them, not slaughter. I will not become the monster they fear.
The phoenix's flames turned from wildfire to precise, searing gold. The Kirin's antlers pulsed, disarming knights without killing.
He's not just winning, he's protecting both sides. This isn't the Beast King my father prophesied.
The kingdom's forces broke into a full rout, their commanders fleeing. The war drums fell silent.
Let them go. They are not our enemy. Fear is...
The Leviathan gently laid down its captured foes. The griffins perched on the tree line, no blood on their talons.
My father called this boy a monster, but he fights with more honor than our entire army.
I have their loyalty, their power, but can I keep them from becoming the very monster the kingdom fears?
The first battle was won, but the war was far from over. And now, the world had seen the Beast King's face. King Aldrich received the rout report in his tent. Dread replaced fury.
I've known the prophecy. The Beast King would rise from a hidden bloodline, burn the forest, every soldier. We'll smother him in ash.
Sakura entered, her armor still soot-stained from the ignored battle.
I saw him spare our men. He begged for peace. I am done.
You choose a peasant over your kingdom. You are no daughter of mine.
Sakura left the tent without a word. The journey to Sora's camp was the longest walk of her life. At the forest edge, Sora stopped her with a raised hand. The cub chirped a greeting.
I am finished with fear. If you have room, I'll help defend it.
She planted her blade in the soil as a vow. Not a princess, an ally. The human army regrouped at the tree line. Their numbers were still vast, their king still unyielding.
I could order them to strike, end this in minutes. But how many villages would I become?
The beasts stirred restlessly. The phoenix flickered. The leviathan's tail churned the shallow water. They awaited his word.
Stay here. Form a wall. Do not advance unless I fall. This ends with words, or not at all.
He walked alone down the slope toward the human camp. Sakura moved to follow, but he shook his head.
He comes alone. Archers, stand ready. Let him approach to his doom.
Sora halted at the camp's edge. No weapon but the cub on his shoulder. No army at his back, only a truth he now carried.
King Aldrich, I am the beast king you fear, but I did not come for your crown. I came to end a war you started.
You think words can undo the prophecy. Your bloodline dooms us all.
The archer's strings creaked. The cub's eyes glowed brighter. A single wrong word would ignite the final battle. Sora took a breath.
Then let's settle it as kings once did. A duel. If I fall, my beasts disperse. No more blood.
Aldrich laughed, bitter. You think a blacksmith can match a king in steel? He advanced, sword gleaming. Sora dodged the first swing, then the second. The cub's light flickered with each near miss.
I don't want to hurt him, but I can't let this continue. Aether, lend me your light.
A barrier of cyan energy erupted from the cub, encasing Sora's arm. He caught the descending blade barehanded. The blade shattered. Aldrich stumbled, crown clattering. He fell to his knees, his weapon a broken hilt.
I didn't come for your crown. I came to protect what I love. Stand up.
Aldrich stared at the offered hand. The archer's strings slackened. The prophecy of doom did not come.
The war is over. Your beasts, no harm will come to them. I was wrong.
The war had ended not by prophecy, but by mercy. Sora stood before two armies, holding no throne, only a promise.
Humans and beasts, listen. I ask no crown, no castle. Give me the wasted valley beyond the forest.
Silence fell over both armies. A blacksmith's apprentice, offering to settle for barren ground.
My beasts will guard the kingdom's borders. No throne. We only need a home.
Take the valley. It was a cursed waste. Make of it what you will. I will. I will not interfere.
The beasts lowered their heads in acceptance. The phoenix extinguished its flames. The leviathan sank beneath the lake.
You kept your word, Father. This is what we should have done from the start.
The soldiers began a slow retreat. Their banners lowered. The war had ended with a map and a promise.
A valley, not a crown. Mother, did you hope I'd choose this?
The sanctuary was not yet built. But in that clearing, a new chapter began, not for a king, but for a protector. The Hatcher would soon be named, but before honor there was work. Sora turned toward the untamed valley and walked forward. The valley stretched wild and green, its cliffs carved by old magic. Beasts and humans followed Sora into the heart of the unmade sanctuary.
This is it. No walls, no throne. Just a place where anyone willing can live without fear.
He turned to face them all. The word rose from his chest, not as a title, but as a purpose.
Call me Hatcher. That's what I am. Not a king.
The beasts stirred. The phoenix tilted its head. The Kirin stamped once. A new name for a new beginning.
Then I'll be the first human to live under no crown. Show me where to dig, Hatcher.
With the leviathan carving waterways and the griffins hauling timber, the first shelters rose by sunset.
A forge. I'll build a forge. And Aether will have a nest. This is our home.
A few kingdom soldiers, moved by the peace, laid down their arms and asked to stay. The sanctuary was already a refuge. Under the first stars of the sanctuary, Sora looked up and whispered his mother's lullaby. The valley answered with stillness. Months passed. The sanctuary flourished. Caravans of refugees found safety, and the valley bloomed with shared labor. But a shadow festered. A scarred griffin named Kale gathered the bitter and the vengeful beasts who remembered only human cruelty.
Hatcher, the old pain festers. Some beasts remember only the hunter's chains. They will not bend.
I've seen the scars, but I won't trade one bloodshed for another. There must be another way.
Kale landed in the settlement square. Children froze, beasts lowered their heads. A single shriek split the peace. The griffin spoke, its voice like grinding stone. The humans must leave, or we will wash the valley in their blood.
If I draw no line, the sanctuary dies. If I strike them down, I become the monster they feared.
The phoenix flickered, caught between loyalty and pity. The leviathan coiled uneasily. The sanctuary held its breath. Sora stepped forward, the cub on his shoulder, his locket burning softly. He would not raise a fist, but he would not raise a fist, but he would not beg. The rebellion had been spoken. Now, the valley would see whether the Hatcher could defend peace with words alone.
Kale, you lost kin to hunters. So did I. My mother was taken when I was a child. I know the taste of ashes.
He touched the silver locket, and the softest hum rose, the first notes of his mother's lullaby, ancient and mournful.
But if I let that pain turn me into a killer, her song meant nothing. Revenge only breeds more graves.
Listen, children. The Hatcher speaks truth. We were not born to burn the world, but to guard it.
The phoenix let out a low, mournful cry. Other beasts shuffled, their growls softening into heavy silence.
Stay. Together we can build something no sword can break, lay down revenge, and choose this sanctuary.
Slowly, Kale folded its wings. The scarred head lowered. The challenge in its eyes gave way to something older, shame. One by one, the rebel beasts bent knee. The valley exhaled a breath it had held too long. The war inside was over. The beast spirit placed a phantom hand on Sora's shoulder. No words, only the weight of all those who had hoped. The Hatcher had proven that mercy could break a blade's edge. Peace, fragile but alive, held. Each season, Sakura returned to the valley, not as a princess, but as a friend. They would sit on the great stone overlooking the valley, a place that had become theirs.
You did this, Sora. A sanctuary from fear. The kingdom itself is changing.
I only held the hammer. Everyone here forged this place together.
He touched the locket. Its pulse was steady now, a quiet echo of her song.
Mother, I am not an orphan anymore. Your love built this with me.
I came to kill a monster. Instead, I found a reason to believe again.
He placed his hand over hers. No words, just the shared weight of their journey.
The world isn't fixed, but as long as we guard this place, maybe it can learn.
Evening fell over the valley. The Hatcher knew without crown he had become who he was meant to be. At dawn, a rogue company, loyalists to a lost cause, surged from the tree line, blades raised against the sanctuary. Sora rose from his forge, the cub already keening a warning. But before he could call, the beasts answered on their own. The phoenix swept down without a word, its flames a wall of gold. The leviathan rose from its lake, water crashing in a barrier. Even Kale, the scarred griffin, led a ring of wyverns to encircle the attackers, not to kill, but to contain.
They didn't wait for my order. They chose this. They chose the sanctuary.
The attackers, outnumbered and outmatched, dropped their weapons in surrender. Not a drop of blood had been spilled.
The sanctuary defended itself. Without your command, you've built more than a home. You've built a nation.
I am just the Hatcher. They are the strength. They finally believe in peace as much as I do.
By midday, the surrendered were offered a choice, leave or join. Many stayed, hearts changed. The sanctuary had proven it could stand, not by a king's fist, but by the will of those who called it home. A simple stone was raised at the valley's heart, a sculpture of a cracked egg with a dragon emerging. The ceremony drew every soul. Sora stood before it, the locket warm against his chest. Sakura at his side, the cub perched on the statue's wing.
To every beast and human here, I promise to guard this sanctuary as long as I draw breath. No crown, no conqueror.
And I swear, as long as I live, no royal edict will threaten this peace. The Hatcher's sanctuary stands.
As her words ended, a deep roar answered from above. Aether, now immense, soared over the valley, wings spanning the sky. The beast descended, landing beside the monument with a gentleness that shook the earth. Its great eye met Sora's.
From a cracked egg in a forgotten forge to this, Mother, I hope you can see it.
The phoenix circled once and landed. The Kirin bowed, Kale the griffin knelt. The valley was no longer just a refuge, it was a home. As night fell, lanterns were lit. Laughter and song rose from the valley. The Hatcher sat among his people, no different, no higher.
Once, I was just an orphan with a lullaby. Now, I have everything I need, a home, a purpose, and a family.
Years slipped by, and the valley aged into a legend. The monument of the cracked egg stood weathered but unbroken, adorned with flowers left by generations who never knew war. Children who had never heard a battle cry raced among griffin chicks and wolf pups. The old hatreds were forgotten. Sora, his hair now streaked with gray, watched from beneath an old oak. The locket no longer hung at his chest.
They don't remember the wars. They only know this.
He had sealed the locket within the monument, its final glow a silent lullaby for the valley.
Mother, you'd be proud.
Above, Aether soared. The hatchling that once fit in his palm now cast a guardian's shadow over the entire valley. He was never a king, only a blacksmith who hummed a lullaby and broke a 5-century curse with love. The Hatcher's legacy lived on, not in thrones, but in every hearthfire where children sang the old song, and the egg that waited 500 years finally found its purpose, not to break an empire, but to build a world.